Dear students, I hope you have learned the chemical shift in NMR, and now we are going to have another important topic in NMR, that is spin-spin coupling in NMR. These two concepts are very much useful to find the chemical environment of a particular nuclei in a compound, and very useful. These two are the very important parameters which we measure or find out in the NMR spectroscopy. Uh, a spin-spin coupling in NMR gives you a quantitative measure about the number of neighboring nuclei present, number of neighboring magnetic nuclei which is present to the particular nuclei. And in solid state NMR, this is very much helpful in finding the inter atomic distances of a particular a molecule in a compound. So what is the spin-spin coupling? The spin of a magnetically active nuclei often interprets or interacts with a neighboring magnetically active nuclei. When these two magnetically active nuclei are appropriately closer to each other, okay, and produce a magnetic field or interact with their magnetic field, they will have the energies of the two nuclei changes. As a result of the change in energies, so we find some splittings in the spectral lines of both nuclei. Say for example, I have a magnetically active nuclei A, okay, and another magnetically active nuclei which is X, okay, and when I apply a magnetic field B0, so let us first ignore the interaction of X on A, okay, and let us consider only the magnetically active nuclei A. And if the applied magnetic field is applied, this magnetic field interact with the magnetic field induced by the particular magnetically active nuclei. So this nuclei interact, this magnetically active nuclei generate flux lines, as you know very well, and this will be either aligned or opposed to the applied magnetic field, okay. So if this the magnetic field experienced by this particular A is either B0 plus BA or B0 minus BA, so the present nuclei A will experience two types of field strength, applied field strength, okay. So B0 plus BA is when this applied magnetic field is aligned with the induced magnetic field produced by A. When the applied magnetic field B0 is opposed to the induced magnetic field BA, then it will experience B0 minus BA. So this particular nuclei will exhibit two different magnetic field strength. So now let us go into X. What will be the influence of this particular nuclei A over X? So when this magnetic field strength interact with the X will find itself with the two different magnetic fields. X will interact with these two magnetic field strength. As a result, the energies of X or the spins of X will be split into two. It will be split into 2. Okay. Similarly, the influence of A over X. Now, in the first case, we have seen the influence of, in the first case, we have seen influence of A over X. Now, let us see the influence of X over A. So, X, the situation of X will also be the same. It will have two types of magnetic field. When it is reinforces B0 minus Bx, and when it opposes B0 minus Bx. Okay. So, as a result of this, both the magnetic nuclei will be split into two. It will be split into two. Okay. So, let us say, for example, and I have two electronic spins, two magnetic nuclei of electronic spins. So it can exhibit in four possible ways. One, it can be spin paired, or it can be parallel spins, both upward and both downward. So the one spin can be of this type, another spin can be of this type. Okay. So this, you can state this as alpha alpha, and if you state this as beta beta, and this can be alpha beta and beta alpha. So these two spins are more or less magnetically, these two spins are equivalent, energetically equivalent, and more the spins are also equal. So and hence these two can be coupled. Okay. So this can exist in 1:2:1. So the presence of two protons, okay, will split the magnetic lines into 1:2:1. Okay, so let us ignore about the intensity and see only the influence of magnetic field on exerted by the both neighboring nuclei. Now, what will be the influence of the spin-spin coupling which takes place between several nuclei? So this will be the earlier one will be the case of two magnetically equivalent nuclei located at different parts of a solid. Okay, and now if I have a group of nuclei, magnetically equivalent nuclei, say for example CH3 and CH2. Okay, so these two are a group of a molecule, okay, which consists of a group of magnetically active nuclei. So this consists of 3 protons, magnetically active protons, and this consists of 2 magnetically active protons. Okay. So how will be the interaction between a group of magnetically acting nuclei, or how will be the spin-spin coupling between a group of magnetic acting nuclei? Okay, so let us see. Okay, so if this is the case of methyl and methylene proton, this is a methyl proton, and I can call this as a methylene proton. Okay, CH2 proton. So the coupling between the these 3 protons are said to be magnetically equal and chemically equal protons, because the shielding exerted by all the 3 hydrogens are same. They are present in one particular carbon, or they are located in one particular carbon. You cannot distinguish these 3 protons. Okay, and they are chemically the same. Okay, and shielding is also equal among the 3 protons, so they are magnetically same. So the spin-spin coupling among the chemically equivalent and magnetically equivalent nuclei is not effected. It never take place. So as a result, we have a simplified spectrum, not much a complicated spectrum. So this will lead to a simplification of a NMR spectra. So, and similarly here, the 2 hydrogens in methylene are magnetically equal as well as chemically equal. They both possess same shielding constant value, and you cannot distinguish between the 2 protons. So they are chemically equal. So how about the coupling between these 2? similar, definitely the coupling between these two is not considered. Okay, but however, the among the two or between the two, methyl or methylene proton, they are magnetically not equal and they are chemically not equal. So because this is say for example, if you have a methanol, okay, so this hydroxyl group is much closer to methylene. Okay, so this will have less shielding when compared to a methyl proton, which have got a more shielding. Okay, so in these two in a compound may not have the same chemical environment, so they can be chemically not equivalent. I mean, the methyl and methylene as a group, they are chemically non-equivalent and they are magnetically non-equivalent because shielding is differed for both the methyl and methylene proton. So now how about the interaction between these two? So this system can be considered as A3X2. For simplification, let us consider this system as A3 and X2. So A3 corresponds to 3 proton, X2 corresponds to 2 protons. So clear? So, and let us now see the influence of X2 on A3. Influence of, you can consider either A3 on X2 or X2 on A3. So let me consider this one first, which will be more very easy for you. Okay. So let us consider the influence of A3 on X2. Okay. So what will be the intensity of the X2 protons? Because there's 2 protons, intensity will be 2. Intensity will be 2 and intensity of this proton will be 3. So X2 will have intensity of 2. When A3 interacts with the X2, it will be first split into the first proton of the 3 proton. The first proton interacts with the X2, so it will be split into proton P equal to 1. It will be split into 1:1. Okay, and when this interact with the next proton, second proton, this will be split into half. So as a result, you can, these two are same coupling and energetically same. So I can write this as 1/2 is to 1:1/2. So this can be written as 1:2:1. Okay. So I can write this as 1:2:1. So when P equal to 3, this is 1:2:1. Okay. So when P is equal to 3, this will further split into half. Okay, half. This will split into 1. This will be split into half. This will be split into half. So upon combining these two couplings are same. So I will get 1/2, 1.5, or you can say this as a in simple 3/2, and this is 3/2. And this is 1/2. So intensity of this will be 1:3:3:1. Okay. So when the first proton, when the A3 is X2 has got 2 intensity. When it is split by first proton, the lines are split into 2. You have 2 lines of equal of intensity, 1:1. Okay, and when it is split by next proton, okay, the 1:1 becomes 1:2:1. Okay, 1:1 becomes 1:2:1. When it is split by next proton, it will be split by 1:3:3:1. Okay, so how many splittings we'll have? See here. So by the influence of first proton, it will split into 2 lines. By the influence of second proton, 1:2:1, it is split into 3 lines. By the influence of third proton, it is split into 4 lines. So in common, you can write this as n plus 1. You can write this as a n plus 1. That means the number of splittings of the particular magnetically active nuclei dependent on the number of neighboring magnetically active nuclei or the number of neighboring proton. So if the number of neighboring proton is 2, this will split into 3 lines. If the number of neighboring proton is 3, this will be split into 4 lines. The number of neighboring proton is 5, this proton will be split into, this signal will be split into 6 lines. If it is 5, it will be split into 6 lines. Okay. If the number of neighboring protons is 5, then it will split into 6 lines. So, as a generalized rule, as a rule of generalization, you can calculate the number of splitting. You can calculate the number of splitting as n plus 1. N plus 1. Okay. So clear. So here the methyl proton is split into 3. Methyl will be split into 3, but CH2 will be split into 4. 1:3:3:1, as you have studied here. This 1:2:1. Okay, so this case will be seen now. Okay, this we have already seen. So this methyl proton whose neighboring proton is 2, and hence it is split into, methyl is split into 3. Intensity of 3 lines, 3 splittings, and the methyl proton, methylene will split into 4. Will split into 4 because the number of neighboring proton is 3. So 3 plus 1, 4 here. 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Okay. So now let us see the influence of methylene over methyl proton. Okay. How many splittings we will get? Methylene over methyl proton, naturally we will get a 4 because neighboring proton is 3. So it will be split into 4. So this is what we have already seen. The influence of methyl, how the methyl lines are split by methylene protons. So it will be split into 3. So what is the intensity for the methyl? Because 3 protons, intensity is 3. Okay. So I will have a one single peak of 3 intensity. So when P neighboring proton is 1, this will be split into 1.5:1.5. Okay. Or you can say this 3/2, 3/2, 3/2. Okay. And by the influence of next proton, this 3/2 will be split into 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. So these two are energetically equivalent. So and hence I can write this 3/4 is to 3/2 is to 3/4. Okay, that is 1:2:1. 1:2:1. Okay. Okay. So neighboring protons are 2, and hence the lines are split into 3 with the intensity of 1:2:1. So this might look very simple if you understand a family tree method. So a family tree method can be adopted to further simplify or to understand the number of the intensities of the spectral lines. Okay. So like this is the family tree method. Okay, I can say this. Okay. Okay, see this, if you have, this is a intensity of 1, okay, and say I can this is 1, I can say this 1 and 1, okay. So this will be split into half, 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 okay. So these two can combine to becomes 1, okay. So 1 by 2 is to 1 is to 1 by 2, or I can say this as a 1 is to 1 is to 2 is to 1, okay. And now this becomes half, and this become half, and this become 1, and this become 1, this become half, okay, this is half now, and 3 by 4 it is now, and 1 by 4, this is 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4 becomes 1 by 4. So now it becomes 1 by 4 okay, so I'll find this, this is I say this 1 and this is 2 1, so I will have this 1 and 2 plus 1 3 and 2 plus 1 3 and again 1. So this splits 1 3 plus 1 4 3 plus 3 6 3 plus 3 6 sorry 4, this 3 plus 1 4 and 1, and this 4 plus 1 1 4 plus 1 5 4 plus 6 10 6 yes 6 plus 4 10 4 plus 1 5 is to 1. So I have 1 is to 2 is to 1, okay, 1 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 1 is to 4 is to 6 is to 4 is to 1 1 is to 5 is to 10 is to 10 is to 5 is to 1. Okay, so you can by simply without drawing this you can make this, okay, you can make this family tree 1 by 1 plus 1 2 plus 1 3, okay. Now we can combine this 1, this comes 1 as 1, 2 plus 1 3, 2 plus 1 3, and 1 comes as such. So 1 comes in the last. So now 3 plus 1 4, 3 plus 3 6, 3 plus 1 4 and 1. Now 1 comes here, 1 plus 4 5, 4 plus 6 10, 6 plus 4 10, 4 plus 1 5 and 1. Okay, similarly you can extend this 1 is to 6 is to 15 is to 20 is to 15 is to 6 is to 1. So like this you can, if you follow this family tree method, you can very easily find the intensities of the spectral line. Okay, so if the number of neighboring proton, n is equal to 2, okay, n is equal to 3, 2, you will have 3 splitting with an intensity of 1 is to 2 is to 1. If the number of proton n is equal to 3, you have 4 splittings, 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. If you have 5 proton, n is equal to 4, you have 5 splittings, 1 is to 4 is to 6 is to 4 is to 1. If the n is equal to 5, you have 6 splittings, 1 is to 5 is to 10 is to 10 is to 5 is to 1. If n is equal to 6, okay, you have this 1 is to 6 is to 15 is to 20 is to 15 is to 6 is to 1. Okay, so by this way you can calculate the number of splittings and the intensities of the splittings. Okay, usually the intensities of the middle line is said to be more when compared to the intensities of the edges, last one is one, because intensities of the middle lines of more energetic, I mean the equal energetics will reinforce, and you will get a more intense spectral lines. Okay, so like this, yeah, this we have seen A3 X2 system. Okay, and similarly you can find it for a uh, AX5 system. Okay, AX6 system. Okay, A3X6 system. So for any system you can find the number of splittings and the intensities of the spectral line. Okay, so I will summarize about spin-spin coupling. The spin-spin coupling is a very important measure in NMR spectroscopy. It is helpful for quantitative measure of the number of neighboring proton, as well as it is helpful to know the interatomic distances in a solid NMR. Okay, so when two magnetically active nuclei are present at appreciable distance, okay, with an appreciable magnetic field. In NMR term, the appreciable means 0.01 Tesla. Okay, but protons even can be, which are closer with even 0.10 10 power minus 6 Tesla can be magnetic, can influence on each other. Okay, so when they are closer to each other, the spin of one magnetic nuclei will influence on the other nucleus. As a result, the spins of both nuclei will be split. Okay, because the one magnetic nuclei, based on its interaction with the applied magnetic field, exhibit two different field strength, either when it reinforces or when it opposes. Okay, you have two field strength. So the neighboring proton will experience two different field strength. And similarly, the influence of the second one or the first one will also, though as a result, the spectral lines are split. Okay, the number of splitting is denoted conventionally as n plus 1. If the neighboring proton is n, the particular nuclei will be split into n plus 1 spectral line. So the intensity of spectral line is calculated by a family tree method very conveniently. Okay, I hope you have thoroughly understood the spin-spin coupling between several nuclei. Okay, so with this we conclude. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment box. Thank you very much.